make the most professional charts from tables in just a few minutes, so make sure you watch till the end so you don't miss anything. Let's go! Okay, so the first step to do is convert this table into a pivot table. We can achieve this by going into the Table Design tab and clicking on the tool Summarize with Pivot Table. After you have done that, a window will appear. We want this pivot table on a new separate sheet, so we'll select New Worksheet. Now, let's click on OK. Excel will then make a new sheet for us containing the pivot table. This will also open up a sidebar called Pivot Table Fields. I won't go much into depth about how this works, as I'll make a separate video about that in the future. You just need to know that these 4 boxes here are called areas, and we drag these so-called fields into these boxes or areas. Also, make sure to stick around until the end, since I share some pretty valuable chart formatting tricks that will be pretty valuable and will be hard to find elsewhere. Okay, so first of all, I'll put the purchase date field in the rows area. As you can see, Excel has automatically split for us the field into multiple different fields, and we don't want that. We only need 30 years. To remove the unnecessary fields, we'll just drag them outside the area and onto the sheet or some other space outside the area. Not in some other box, or else weird stuff might happen. Now, I want to see how much was sold per year in terms of devices. So, I'll do this by putting the device field into the columns area. And then, in the values area, we will put in the amount purchased field. Now, we can clearly see how much of one device was sold per year. And if you're wondering why the values are pretty low for years 2018 and 2023, it's because the company was established at 2018 October, and the data for the other months of 2023 has not yet been collected. Those are the basics of pivot tables. Don't worry, I'll explain pivot tables in a lot more detail in a future video. The time for making charts has come. I plan to make 3 separate charts. I'll first make a line chart showing the amount of sales we had across 6 years. Then I'll make a pie chart comparing the amount of the 3 types of devices sold for the whole lifetime of the company. And then finally, I'll make a bar chart that shows us how much of a certain device was bought compared to all the other devices. Since we will be making 3 separate charts for this, we will also need 3 pivot tables. I'll go ahead and copy this pivot table 2 times and make sure they are far apart from each other, or else they might collide and cause data loss. Now for the first pivot table, it is already formatted the way I want it. So all we need to do is go to Pivot Table Analyze and then click on Pivot Chart. I'll then go to Line and then click on this graph shown to us. Now as you can see, it looks very rough and not really well made. Before we start designing and formatting this, I'll make a separate sheet called Charts, and then we'll transfer this chart to here. Also, a small thing, if you want your charts to align to the grid line, to make it look extra neat, you can go to the Format tab, and then click on Align, and then turn on Snap to Grid. And so remember that for this workbook, so any other future charts you make will have that option also turned on. Now, time to start formatting. The first most obvious thing we'll do is to change the colors, or we can straight up go to the page layout and change the overall theme of the whole workbook, but I don't want that, because that'll also affect the other sheets I have. Instead, what we will do is go to the Design tab, click on Colors, then select on one of the pre-made palettes here. I'll go for the monochromatic green palette. After that, I'll pick from the chart styles. I like this third style, so this is what I'll be going for. Now, I can end the formatting of charts right here, but I'll just give a few extra tips on how to make charts even better looking. You can right-click this field button right here, and then click on Hide All Field Buttons on Chart. You can also make the overall sheet better looking by removing the grid lines, which can be located in the View tab. You can also remove the tiny outline that you can see for the chart. And also add a shadow to make it stick out from the background. Now that you have seen the process I use, I'll just quickly do this for the other 2 charts as well, the pie chart and the bar chart. That took quite some time, but as you can see right here, we now have made a separate sheet which contains 3 charts, where we can easily see trends in our data. That would be near impossible to notice just by staring at this table right here. And to make sure that you are even more knowledgeable in Excel, then you need to check out this playlist. If you want to know how this table was made, then check out this video right here. Once again, this was Minimalism Excel, and I hope to see you next time.